Hello children, today we shall study chapter number 7 of history and the name of the chapter is Urban Changes Under Colonialism. Dear children, as we have studied the foundation of the British colonialism, it was laid in India in 1757 after the Battle of Plassey. The British took control over the whole of Bengal and gradually expanded their territories. In 1857, Queen Victoria, she was declared the Empress of India. Thus began the rule of British in India. The British manufactured goods, they were poured into India, which were too expensive for the village community to buy. As a result, many villages and smaller cities they lost their existence and importance. People moved out of these to newer places in search of employment and other opportunities to make a living. This process it is called reurbanization. As people migrated to different places in search of work and capital, new centers of trade and activities flourished. For example, Bombay, Calcutta, and Madras. They became the presidency towns of the British. The presidency towns, which were the centers of the British power in India. Many port cities like Calcutta, Bombay, and Madras, they took over the Surat, Goa, Machilipatnam, Seringamapatnam, and Cochin, which were deurbanized. Interior cities like Delhi and Chandigarh, they sprang up. They were strategically located, easily accessible by rail, road, or river. Many hill stations like Shimla, Mussoorie, Nainital, Darjeeling, Ooty, they were the most popular hill stations which were made by the British or established by the British because they wanted to keep themselves away from the dust and heat of the plains. So that's why these hill stations they were developed. The new towns and cities that developed under the British were different from the older ones in their pattern, design, layout, and area. Bastis, they were the small shanty township that developed in the open areas around big mansions, and they were most common in Calcutta. In 1793, Lord Cornwallis he put an end to the local self-government system of native rulers and introduced the Cornwallis Code. By the Cornwallis Code, the district collector he was made in charge of local administration. A new officer called the district judge he was given judicial and police powers. The task of maintaining law and order was taken away from the zamindars. Municipality Act 26 of 1850 for the first time made provisions for a municipal government to administer the new major towns. The Municipal Improvement Act was introduced in 1864. The municipality it was made in charge of public health, maintenance of roads and sanitation. The district magistrate he was appointed as the chairman of the municipalities. Police reforms. A police commission was appointed in 1860 to review the Thanedari police system of the earlier period. On the recommendation of the commission, the Police Act of 1861 came into force. It aimed at reforming the existing police system. A separate police department it was formed under an Inspector General of Police. Lord Dalhousie and he introduced an extensive railway system which developed in India in the second half of the 19th century. Lord Dalhousie Railway Minute of 1853 formed the basis of the expansion of railway network in India. The first railway line connecting Bombay with Thane was laid down in 1853. It covered a 20-mile distance. In 1854, a railway line was built from Calcutta to Raniganj coalfields. The railway of network or the network of railway it proved beneficial for both the British and the Indians. Post and telegraph. Under Lord Dalhousie, a new Post Office Act it was passed in 1854. It provided for the appointment of a Director General to look over the work of post offices in all the presidencies. And these presidencies were Bombay, Calcutta, and Madras. Postage stamps were also issued for the first time. So, this was all about this module. I hope you would like the lesson. Have a nice day.